Hi everyone, I'm Cecily and welcome to my channel, The Lover's Astro and Tarot. This reading is for anyone whose sun, moon, or ascendant is in the beautiful sign of Gemini. Hi Gemini! So I've decided to keep it short and sweet this month. There are so many different things that are going on in terms of what's happening in each individual chart. And normally I have the cards laid out and I've decided to do it a little bit different by shuffling, but it's just because, especially in the sign of Gemini, I find you guys are even more unique than some of the other signs can possibly have all put together. So I think that, you know, there's such a broad range. And if you don't know your chart, I'm sorry, I'm having really bad heartburn. I'm very pregnant right now, so it's hard for me to talk. Gemini. If you are a Aquarius Gemini, you know, and you've got a lot of air versus you being a Taurus Gemini or a Sagittarius Gemini, there's so many different things that happen in a chart. There's so many different planets and aspects and influences and things that you can possibly have that make love possible, that mean you're not ready, that mean somebody's coming your way tomorrow. You know, it's just a big math problem. It's a big math problem that you have to figure out. And you know, there's so much, there's little tidbits that you get, you know, from really watching videos and saying, okay, yeah, for me, like, I'm a Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio. So I go back and forth between all three. But, you know, some people are lucky and they're double Virgos or they're triple Sagittariuses, or, you know, they have a lot of their sign. And those people, you know, it tends to be less complicated. But for the normal everyday person, it's generally, especially for somebody who's already a twin, as in the Gemini, you have a lot going on, and I guarantee there are aspects of your chart that are so unique that it means, you know, you really need to get to know your own chart. And that's what tarot is based off of. Tarot is based off of astrology in a really big way. So, let's see exactly what you have, Gemini, in April. Late April. Okay, guys. Okay, Gemini. So you receive the Seven of Pentacles. Hope you guys can see that. It's a man working in a field. He's laboring very hard for his reward. His harvest has finally come out, and it's not necessarily that he feels great about it, but it's a card that is about long-term rewards. So this is basically saying, Gemini, if you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, either way, you're working for your long-term reward. You feel like either this person has something very special to offer, this person is the person for you, this person makes you feel secure, especially since this is a Pentacles card. There's something there that you feel like you're getting that's worth it, and you're going to continue to work for it. If you're not in a relationship right now, Gemini, and you're single, you're in a space where you're working to be in that relationship. You're working to have what you want. Now, what it is you want, Gemini, like I said, is dependent upon what type of Gemini you are. What planets are transiting the planets that you have in your chart. You know, were you born in 1965? Were you born in 2000, what? 2000? No, that's not even possible, is it? Not for a real reading, anyway. You're still too young at that point. Kind of. You might be 17. That's okay. I love 17-year-olds anyway. But you're kind of in a place where you realize that there are things that take time. And that's what's really important. And that's not a bad thing. But this month, it's also going to drive you to make very important decisions. If you've been putting in that time for a long time and you feel like you're at the end of a cycle, Gemini, like I said, that's dependent upon your chart and where you are, you are going to make a decision. You're going to either have you or your partner make a decision. Now, if your partner makes a decision, it's a little bit different than you. But I'm going to interpret this as you making a decision because this is a Swords card, and Swords cards are all about communication, and this is your number one card, Gemini. So that's something that's very important. You're going to make a decision about love. You're going to make a decision about life, and it's going to affect you for a very long time. Now, what I will say is you have two great cards after this, but both of those cards are in reverse. So you're going to want to change this energy around. Now, this is the Magician card. It's a major arcana. It's the only major arcana you have in your reading. Very important. It's a very broad, sort of large energy that will push its way into your life. Now, I'm holding it in the upright position even though you got it in reverse. But if you look at it, it's a card that talks about someone who is capable of basically tampering and changing, the alchemist, bending the elements, changing things, manipulating things into whatever they need them to be. There's a rod in this picture, there's a pentacle, there's a cup, and there is a sword as well. Yes. And all of those things are representing the elements and the things that we use in life in order to get what we want. So you have to kind of pay attention and say, am I using the things that I have to my advantage? Gemini, I would say in this case you're not. You're probably holding back because this card is in reverse. In the upright position, this card in terms of love is a beautiful card to have. It is very, how can I put this? It's very much about things all falling into place without you trying very hard. You have all the things you need. It's like saying, I'm going to bake a cake and everything is already supplied for you. You don't have to go to the store. There's no extra rigmarole. There's no roadblocks here. This is open. But this is when your roadblock is being created by you. This is when you feel like the universe is not working for your benefit. This is when you feel like things are not working out because they're not supposed to. Now, what I will say is you might be traveling a lot, you might be doing a lot of things, you might be, getting ready to go back to school, you might be starting a new job, you might be doing things outside of love and romance that are still flowing in the correct direction. But with this card, in terms of romance, in terms of what you want with someone else in particular, you may feel a bit let down, or you may feel like the universe at large didn't give you what you wanted or what you desired. So, the last card that you received this month is actually the Ten of Cups. Another beautiful card in terms of love. Very strong card. Not as strong as a major arcana, but it's a 10. It's as big as it gets in terms of the minor arcana. Now, for Cups cards, the 9 of Cups cards, just to give you perspective, is about getting what you want. But the only thing that the 9 of Cups is missing is the family. In the 9 of Cups, it's someone who has everything, but they're all alone. In the 10 of Cups card, they have the family, and they have everything they could ever want and desire. So it's a beautiful card. It's really about freedom of expression in love, being able to show the people that you love around them how much you love them. Now, when you get it in reverse, it's the difficult part, because it says you have all of this love, but you have to keep it bottled up for some reason. Now, like I said, it really depends on you, depends on your chart, depends on what you're thinking, the relationship you have with this other person, or the relationship you have to yourself and why you don't have another person in your life. It varies from with each situation. So this is about keeping this bottled up. If you have a reason for bottling this up, meaning you've made your decision, understood. But if you haven't, you want to try to flip that card around and realize whether that decision was worth it or not. So thank you so much, Gemini. I love you guys as always. Thank you for all your likes, comments, and subscribes, and I'll see you again next month.